Hi, my name is Jerald Simon, and I'm the president and founder of Music Motivation. And I want to thank you for actually visiting my website. This is musicmotivation.com, or you may be watching this video on my YouTube page, youtube.com/Jerald Simon. I'd like to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about me, and tell you about what I hope to accomplish in teaching piano students and even piano teachers how to learn music theory the fun way through original cool songs that I compose. Every week I come out with a brand new cool song. It's part of an annual subscription I created to help teach music theory the fun way. So it initially began with Cool Songs for Cool Kids piano series. Right now, as of this video, I have come out with 21 music books of original piano solos, ranging from jazz to rock, classical, pop, new age, a lot of different styles, but I wanted to teach the music theory through original cool songs that I've composed. And it all began when I first began teaching piano lessons. If we go back before the Cool Songs series, my Cool Songs for Cool Kids books, I have a primer level, book 1, book 2, and book 3. And I created all of those cool songs, and then I started creating cool songs that rock and started getting some other styles and songs and books put together. But let me explain how the Cool Songs for Cool Kids series came about. I began teaching piano lessons shortly after I was married to my beautiful wife, and that was back in 2003. I began teaching part-time, and then I started teaching full-time a little later. But I came out with 2 books. I felt really impressed that I needed to come out with a book called An Introduction to Scales and Modes, and then also come out with a book called Variations on Mary Had a Little Lamb. The one taught scales, as most scales books do. The other taught students and piano teachers how to teach and how to learn to improvise or jazz up and change Mary Had a Little Lamb. We have 9 different styles. I wanted to teach a blues style. Mary's Lamb had the blues. Mary's Lamb meets Mozart. How would Mozart play it? I wanted to teach students how to play like an Indian. Mary's Lamb dance with an Indian. I wanted to teach about a cowboy style, a western style, a blues, a boogie woogie. And then we end the piece by having Mary's Lamb. Initially, I wanted to have Mary's Lamb die, but my wife said that was a little too traumatic for piano students. So we took Mary's Lamb to a funeral, and we put it in a minor key signature. And I wanted to teach students how to take one simple piece and change the style, make it sound different. Because of those 2 books, something happened, and I had not really anticipated it happening. Instantly, I went from having about 45 piano students to having about 88 plus piano students. Now, I didn't plan on having that happen, but I had so many piano teachers who began calling me, and because of these 2 books and because my company is called Music Motivation, they asked if I would teach piano students of theirs who wanted to quit the piano. Now, imagine that for a second. I said, yes, I'd love to. Most were teenage boys. Most wanted to quit the piano and wanted nothing more to do with the piano. The first lesson that they had with me, many of them told me they hated the piano. They wanted nothing more to do with the piano. And the only reason why they were even there is because their parents were forcing them. Their previous piano teacher didn't want them to quit, didn't want them to stop, and had suggested that they come take lessons from me for a little while to try to get them excited and motivated. I guess that is what I get for having a company called Music Motivation. But what happened next is the interesting part. During their lesson, I would ask them what they wanted to play, and most said nothing. I would give recommendations, ideas. I would ask them to recommend cool songs that they liked or that they have heard, they've played, and nothing worked. So then I had an idea, and I said, what if I compose a cool song just for you during your lesson? And then you take it home and you can practice it, play around with it, see what you think, bring it back the next week, and hopefully you've worked on it and then you can pass it off. And the students actually saw this as a fun game. For me, it became a challenge because I wanted to create something that they wanted. And I had several piano students that they would even challenge me and stretch me quite a bit because I would allow them to choose the style. I would allow them to choose the key signature, the time signature, and I even had one student that said I could only use 4 notes. And he wanted it to sound like a video game soundtrack. And so I was pretty limited. I convinced him to let me, or allow me, to add a 5th note, but that entire song only had 5 notes. And so what I would do is I would create this cool song for the piano student, and then I would send it home with the piano student. I would actually write it out, print it out. I used Finale, and I would notate it during their lesson, have the entire piece finished. I would send it home with the student, and I would say, work on it. Now, the next week they would come back, and not only had they worked on the piece, but they had actually perfected it to the point that it sounded amazing. These were students who wanted to quit, who hated the piano, but now all of a sudden, because of this cool sound, and it was something that they had wanted and told me they wanted me to create either a new age or a classical, rock, video game sounding, some were score-like, but it was something that they wanted. And they were so excited, and many of them, when I asked them what they thought of the piece, said that they thought it sounded cool. Those were their words. And that is how the Cool Songs for Cool Kids series began. My book, Cool Songs for Cool Kids, Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3 were all created by sending a cool song that I had created for my piano students home with them. So all of the pieces that are found in those 3 books were created during a piano student's lesson for them specifically. And then they would come back and play it for me. We'd see how they did, and we'd talk about it. And for me, what I learned is that it excited and motivated these students because they were participating. They selected the music. In fact, they helped dictate how I composed the music. And they would say, I like this, I don't like that. But for me, I wanted to create something for them. It's not about me. It's not about piano teachers in general. It's about the piano student. What did they want to play? And so what happened was, I started having them play these pieces, and many of them started performing them. Not only in our piano, I call them piano concerts, but piano recitals. They started performing them in our piano concerts and performing them for others as well. And then I decided I would put them into books. And so that is how the Cool Songs for Cool Kids series began. So I'd love to have you check out my website, musicmotivation.com. If you have any questions, every week I come out with a new cool song and I teach the theory through the cool song. As an example, let me show you what I try to teach and help students understand. Many times if a student comes to me, and even with piano teachers, I will tell them I want them to try to come up with 5, 10, 15 different variations of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, where they can take the theory they learn and they can apply it. And I show them different left-hand patterns. We talk about how they can take a major chord, they can take a 6th chord, break it apart. Let me show you. I'm going to play a few different variations of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And then I'd love to have you leave a comment. You can talk about this. I'll just show you a few different examples. What if we did a New Age style of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? What if we did like a 50s rock style of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Find different styles that you can take and create to make it sound like it's something different than what it is. And so I'd like to have you try to take some of these patterns. What if I did a 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left hand pattern? We'll pretend like we're in the key of D. Watch this. There are so many fun styles that you can try, and I would love to have you check out my website. I have so many free resources available. All of my cool songs that I've come out with in this past year are available to watch on my YouTube page. That is youtube.com/Jerald Simon. But I teach the theory behind the cool song. So I'd love to have you check it out. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for visiting my website and my YouTube page. Hope to have you come back. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'd love to have you share this video. If you have family, friends, relatives, someone who plays the piano who may want a little more motivation or may want to understand the theory a little more, the practical application of how they can begin composing and arranging music of their own, please feel free to share this with them. Leave a comment below, subscribe to my YouTube page, let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear back from you. I have many piano teachers, piano students, and even parents of piano students who will send me a message and they will give me an idea or a suggestion for a new cool song. Every week I come out with a cool song, and it's something that I do to help teach a skill or a pattern. Sometimes we'll talk about modal jazz where we do like a 2-5-1. And we can go into any key doing that. But we go through and talk about the theory and then explain how you can start to take these concepts and these ideas and create music of your own. That is the whole point of doing these weekly cool songs and teaching the music theory. What the students can do and how they can begin to create, compose, and arrange music of their own, it becomes theirs. They take ownership of it, and it's wonderful to watch that process. So thank you so much for watching this video and sharing it. If you have any questions, let me know. My email address is JeraldSimon, JeraldSimon, @musicmotivation.com. I'd love to have you come back. Every week I come out with a Theory Tip Tuesday and a video. Right now I'm going through and creating videos where I teach all of the scales and all of the chords in every key signature, in every inversion, where I explain how the students can create the chord or the scale, but then I teach them what to do with it. It's that practical application. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a wonderful week, and come back to the website anytime you have a question or you'd like to learn something. I have so many videos and tutorials that anyone can watch where I teach the theory, but then I teach what to do with it. A great resource, especially if you want to compose or you want to arrange, create, or if you have a piano student who needs a little more music motivation. Thanks so much. Have a great day.